What's up, everybody? My name is Jason, and welcome to Small Biz. It is Tuesday, April the 4th, 2023, and in today's glass half full video, we're going to talk about how one CEO whose stock price is down 64% in the last 3 days actually has the gall to say that he is worthy of an apology. Why in the world did I sell 2 stocks in favor of 2 others? And is it really true that the 45th president of the United States is actually walking into a courthouse as we speak to face 34 felony counts for paying off a stripper? All that and more coming right up. All right. Thank you very much for all of you who watched yesterday's video. If you're brand new, you're probably wondering what the hell happened to this guy, and minus a couple of smart-ass comments from people who thought I got the shit kicked out of me. Most of you sent some very lovely thoughts, prayers, well wishes. I cannot express how grateful I am. It's because of people like you that I'm able to get through days like this. So if you haven't seen the video, watch it. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to me at trysmallbiz.com. or on Twitter, where I engage with a vast majority of people who tweet at me. Before I go any further, I have a number of people asking me, and we've got hundreds of new subscribers, what the hell is Small Biz? Small Biz is on a mission to help small business owners make money in the stock market. So follow me on Twitter at trysmallbiz and on our small business directory, trysmallbiz.com. which I highly recommend. If you've got a small business, less than 500 employees, or a side hustle, create a profile at trysmallbiz.com. 95% sign up for free. They're completely on their own. About 5% pay me $1 a day as a premium member, and they get tons of bells and whistles. You got to see the brand new homepage. It's got view all buttons everywhere. 80% of our inbound traffic, which is almost 75,000 unique visitors a month, goes to our premium members. So please consider supporting our cause and giving me a chance to help grow your small business at trysmallbiz.com. With that said, there is a CEO by the name of Sal. And if you want my opinion on the Trumpster, who again, just after 2 p.m. is walking into a courthouse as we speak, stick around to the end. That ought to be fun. But there's a CEO by the name of Sal. We've engaged a number of times on Twitter. Who knows, after today, he may block me, but it's not going to be because I'm against MCOM, formerly known as HellBiz, or that I want the lawyers, who I can guarantee are circling as we speak, to take him down. Because if you own the stock like I do and you've been cut in half and then some in the last 3 days, the minute they file a lawsuit and then there's a second, third, fourth, fifth, the stock is going to get cut in half again. So the last thing that we should really want is a lawsuit against MCOM. But I cannot believe what I read, and I've been racking my brain now for the last 24 hours, and I'm going to read it out loud. Quote, "A lot of apologies will be coming my way very soon." That was yesterday when the stock was about 3.25. Last trade, 247, down another almost 20% at an all-time low, down nearly 2/3 or 64.5% in the last 3 days. And if you saw the VWAP photo that I shared, which is basically the average price of the stock, HLBZ pre-split, $16.20 for most people to break even. In other words, the average investor in MCOM is down 85% from where they own the stock. So my question to Sal is, and I'd love to see a direct engagement on this video, what the fuck are you thinking? Better yet, what the fuck are your lawyers thinking? You have people, in many cases, have lost their entire life savings. And you've got the nerve to say a lot of apologies are going to be coming my way. In other words, implicitly saying that you deserve an apology. Wrong. If anything, it should be the other way around. You should be eating massive amounts of crow right now. What the hell is wrong with you? I was willing, and in fact, I'm still willing to do a podcast with you so thousands of people can see as I interrogate your ass 9 ways to Sunday that you're either someone who believes wholeheartedly in what you do or one of the dumbest SOBs I've ever seen, because I spent 30 years trading the markets, 15 as a broker. And I sat here last night and this morning trying to come up with one example of a CEO whose stock has been decimated after a reverse split, who thousands of people are down 85% from where they own the stock, has the nerve to come out in the midst of a free fall, and again, another all-time low at $2.47 as we speak, and say that a lot of apologies are going to be coming your way. Well, I got news for you, and I'm speaking on behalf of thousands of people right now. I can guarantee you that ain't no one going to give you anything close to an apology until this stock at a minimum is at $16.20. You get everybody whole or close to it, then maybe, just maybe, some will apologize for giving you a hard time. But this nonsense goes back more than a year. You've been carrot dangling nonstop for over a year. And I guarantee, and I speak from experience, I'm not going to be the one to sue you. I've never been involved in a lawsuit, but I have seen it happen in my business, which I left in 2008. Hundreds of times. They're taking screenshots of dozens of your dumbass tweets, including this one. You go to court and you've got people that have lost over 80% of their money, and a decent lawyer says, "Judge, could I read this out loud to you? This happened after a 65% free fall in a 72-hour period. The CEO said a lot of apologies will be coming my way soon." You talk about a total lack of respect for the shareholders that have been decimated in your stock. You have no chance. So I'm here, believe it or not, as a friend / colleague who, again, has never spoke to you or exchanged emails with you ever, to say you better slow your roll. You better get your head out of your fucking ass, or you're going to ruin the entire situation for everyone involved, including you, who owns what, 52% of the outstanding shares? So unless you're on a suicide mission to destroy everything and burn the entire company to the ground, you need to stop and listen to what the hell's coming out of your mouth. Because you don't have many more second chances, if any. So I want to revisit what I said yesterday and the day before. Where the hell are you and every single VP at this company with respect to buying stock? You bought stock in the past. You bought over 10 million shares of HLBZ from 13 cents to north of a quarter. Here you're down another 65% or thereabouts. Last trade, 248, and you're nowhere to be found. And second, what is Yorkville doing right now? I, and many others have asked you in the last few days, are they printing? Is the printing press going? You're not responding. So I'm starting to think this is not only panic selling, and it's understandable at this point. You're out there cranking out the shares, aren't you? To pay for that ridiculous real estate in Soho. So Sal, and I'm telling you with as much utmost respect as I can, I am not going to be the one to sue you. But if you don't think that thousands of people that follow me, hundreds of which are in this stock up to their ass and down as much as 85%, are going to be steaming to the point when a class action lawsuit or 2 or 3 or 4 comes along, you don't think they're going to jump on board when you're out there tooting your own fucking horn nonstop instead of being empathetic to the needs, the wants, the desires of those that have been with you for more than a year? You need to step into the market right now, as I've said multiple times, and buy 1 million shares of stock. And everybody, if it's me running the show from VP on up, has to buy something. I want to see a sheet a mile long of 1,000 shares, 1,500 shares, 200 shares, hell, 10 shares from the secretary or the janitor that sweeps the friggin' floor. And you come out and you say, we believe so much in this company and the name change, which I do think is brilliant. Micro-mobility is a retail keyword home run, provided you and Yorkville don't run this thing into the fucking ground. So buy 1 million shares, put out a press release mentioning exactly how many were bought and where, who owns the stock, get real clear on what Yorkville is doing right now instead of pretending like you don't hear. How could you not hear me, for example? Step into the comments, put out a statement, and tell us exactly what's going on. Are you printing stock? Are you drawing on that credit line to pay for what has to be $60,000 or $75,000 a month in rent in Soho and soon to be what? New York, Miami, LA, San Francisco? I believe in the company. I've been cut in half. I can stand here like a man with a black fucking eye and say, you know what? I made a decision to go real heavy because I believe then and now that this has massive potential. You could consolidate. I would go after BRDS, Lime, go after the real players. BRDS is one example, is profitable in Canada. The hell with these little mom and pops nobody's ever heard from. And be very wise and respectful of your own equity. And this can rebound, preferably if it's in conjunction with massive amounts of insider buying. Otherwise, you're going down. You are on the fucking Titanic. They are playing the violins right now. And I don't even think you're worthy at this point of being the captain in what is it called? The hull? You're on the deck. In fact, what's his name? I can't think of him. You're the guy that's throwing those kids overboard so you can get your own fucking ass on that wooden canoe. Here's to you and your goons. And for the record, as I said yesterday, no, it wasn't Sal and or his Sicilian mafia goons that beat me up. Although that may change after today's video. Just be careful. That's all I have to say. All right, I got rid of BBIG and ENSC in favor of MULM, Mullen, MULN, and MMAT. The reason is very simple, and I've been eyeballing those two stocks for weeks now. I never should have got into BBIG. It was a big mistake. It's run by a felon who ran MoviePass into the ground. He was arrested, and you can find all this on Google in November, and it was a big mistake. I sold a third at 82.5. I know, wasn't that a fucking killer open? Please share it because I swore a lot. They're going to shadow ban me. But I sold a third of BBIG at 82.5. I should have sold it all and never looked back. I didn't. I got out of the rest of it at 29.5. It's down another 10%. In my opinion, they want it to go even lower because they put out a proposal, a month ago where they want to reverse split the stock. So don't be surprised if you're looking at 10 or 15 cents in BBIG if you didn't join me or get out even earlier. ENSC was up 34% pre-market the other day on very good news. At 644, and I put out a photo on it, I said I'm out. I took a modest 10% loss. Some of you didn't get out. In fact, most of you probably didn't. And the stock's now $4.20. As I said all morning, no rally, for the most part, is able to be sustained. Mullen broke out of that downtrend at 10 cents, ran to almost 15, collapsed. MMAT, broke out, and I shared a graph. Follow me on Twitter at TrySmallBiz. At 43, shot to low to mid 50s and collapsed. Everything, whether it's good news or just get a standard pump and dump, it breaks out and it collapses. We're in one of those funks right now, in large part today, in my opinion, because what's going on with respect to the 45th president of the United States. Don't go anywhere. This will be a doozy. So until we get through this Banana Republic madness and we get some sort of clarity out of the Fed, and that's going to happen on or before the May 3rd meeting. And yeah, the statement that I've been saying and stand by for the last month or two, I believe the bear market's going to end by Memorial Day. In fact, for most stocks, it already has. If you look at NASDAQ, the big tech names, they bottomed in October and December. What has not bottomed is the small caps inside of IWM. And in particular, the smallest of the small, there's no bid. But this happens at the very end, right? I've got personal friends of mine that won't talk to me anymore. I've got people that I personally help fill out loans with the EIDL program at the SBA, $2 million, canceled their premiums, no longer talk to me. I had a guy 2 days ago, I was out on the town, someone I've known personally for a long time. He saw me come and he turns around and goes the other way. He made $500,000 last year. Maybe he's given back 200 of it. So he's still plus to the 300K and he doesn't have the balls to talk to me. That is a bottom. When your friends, your colleagues, your premium members, etc., throw in the towel over $1 a day and they're wasting 10 times that on smoking, drinking, gambling, etc., you're at or near a bottom. So at some point, in my opinion, between now and Memorial Day, everything, including what we own, is going to bottom. And I would rather own MMAT and MULN and TRKA and the other stocks that we currently own, including MCOM, last trade 2.5, than the two that I just dumped. You have to get it through your head before I talk about Trump. Taking losses, as Cathie Wood just racked up $2 billion in the first quarter, sets it up so that when you start to get hot again, and we will, the same guy that's got you in and out of 100 winners in the last 12 months on Twitter, still up over 400% net. It was 4 times that or close to it. But I know how to make money in small cap stocks. At some point, the madness, the selling ends. At some point, MCOM, the insiders are going to start buying. Maybe they do a deal or two. Maybe they align with a Mullen and they increase their manufacturing capacity. And boom, the stock's back to $5, $6, $7. At some point, in my opinion, not a guarantee, between now and the Fed's meeting and thereafter at Memorial Day, the worst is over and we're off to a new bull market. It doesn't mean that we're going to make money hand over fist. It just means that the madness, the never-ending selling comes to an end. And speaking of end, are we witnessing one in this country when we're watching Donald J. Trump walking into court? Once again, if you made it this far, I really appreciate you. Say something below. Tell me what you think of Trump. Tell me what you think of MCOM, Sal. Are you pissed off? Say something. I really appreciate when I hear from you guys. All right. I don't care what your politics are. I'm an independent. I have voted left and right. I tend to lean slightly left on certain issues, social, shall we say, and I lean right in support of our military. God bless you for serving, and less government, lower taxes. It's the best man or the woman lately for the job. And no, while I say that, I'm not a fan of fucking pronouns either. And I don't want to see some hairy ass in pink chaps shaking his butt in front of a kindergartner. I'm not a fan of that, but I am a proponent of equal rights. And if you're an adult and you respect the rights of others and you don't violate our children who are so impressionable, especially under the age of 7, then live your life. Sleep who you want to sleep with, vote who you want to vote for. But I got to tell you, I think the wheels are coming off the bus. In fact, I'm starting to think this is a simulation. We have a situation where the president's son, and I'm talking about Biden, is caught on camera multiple times weighing out as much as 21 grams of crack cocaine in front of a room full of hookers. Nothing to see. Bill Gates, Mr. Bill Gates, right, wants to save the planet. Right? He wants you to eat fungi instead of your beef or your cattle because of methane gas. He admits to going to see Mr. Jeffrey Epstein 37 times for dinner. I bet his wife has a different opinion, you know, the one that divorced him. And yet none of those people, none of those Hollywood elites have even been questioned, let alone arrested, as far as I know. And yet Trump, something that Slick Willie and damn near everyone on some level or another in a position of power has done, paid some money through his lawyer, who's on record of saying that Trump knew nothing about it. And they hit him with 34 felony counts. We are at a crossroad. We are at a place, in my opinion, where there's no turning back. And whether it's going to be Trump or DeSantis, in my opinion, if one of them doesn't step in and take over, preferably for the next 12 years, it's over. Our kids, our families, our communities, it's fucking over. If you do your homework, they want a genderless, borderless society where men get pregnant. I don't think so. I mean, our forefathers and mothers have got to be sitting there, along with the Almighty himself, going, what the hell is going on? It's not what we set up for. It's not why we got on the boat. It's not why our African brothers and sisters came from Africa to see this. To see our children being told that your parents have no choice in the matter. If you want to cut off your you-know-what, go for it in certain states. Are you kidding me? So I'm telling you right now, I don't care what your politics are. If you're not alarmed by what you see happening on the news every day, in particular the fake news, as they're just drooling all over themselves at the thought of getting a mugshot, which I understand is not going to happen with respect to Trump. It's not, if you saw his commercial, they're not coming after him, really. They're coming after you and me. Do you know what AI and this Banana Republic bullshit, this Chinese/French socialist utopia that we're about to fall into is going to do? You're going to have no freedom. The digital dollar is going to track your ass everywhere. And the minute you get out of line like I am right now, my computer is going to be shut off. There'll be a knock at the door. And at some point, it'll be a robot/AI. And it'll read my eyeballs. And if I'm not telling the truth as they think I should, turn around and put your fucking hands behind your back. Yeah, it's coming, folks. And if you don't think it is, well, there's not much I can do to help you. And until next time, always remember that I love each and every one of you. And thank you so much for watching.